Hi there, I'm Andrew. Welcome to Urban Rider for another look at some of the world's finest riding gear. Today I'm going to be showing off the new Belstaff Riser jacket. This is new for Belstaff's 2019 range. It will actually be released at the end of November 2018, so slightly ahead of schedule. So this jacket is an attempt by Belstaff to return to a slightly more reasonable price point for their leathers. So we've seen under previous owners the brand as a whole gravitating towards this very much premium end of the price point spectrum, and although nothing has been sacrificed at all, the quality has always been absolutely top class from Belstaff. It means it's not an accessible price point for a lot of motorcyclists. So it's good to see them trying to get back to a price point where they were at about 4 years ago. So this is £695 inclusive of that at the time release of this video, which is by no means cheap, but relative to say last year's cheapest item, this is a further £200 less than the cheapest leather we had from 2017-18. So that's got to be a good thing, and Belstaff have managed to do that without sacrificing on the quality of the garment. We have two very similar items in that respect in the new 2019 motorcycle range. We have the Riser here and the Slider, which you can check out in one of our other video reviews. And in everything but looks, they're exactly the same jacket. So they have the same price point, they have the same fit, and they have the same materials as well. So really it is just the look. So if you're interested in this one, do check out the Slider as well, because they're very, very similar jackets. So what we have then is a 1 to 1.1 mil thick calfskin leather throughout, which is enough to be durable, but also very wearable off the bike. And you have to bear in mind that that's definitely a factor when it comes to Belstaff jackets, maybe as opposed to the majority of other brands of motorcycle clothing out there. There are people in their masses who buy Belstaff as a purely fashion item. And the interesting thing to note is if this is in the fashion range, it's going to be an extra 400, 500, 600 quid for the exact same thing with less features. So there's definitely something about being able to wear these off the bike and have a little bit of cachet to it, which for those of us shallow enough to care about that kind of thing does carry some weight to it. So the jackets are a shortcut leather jacket that they don't have much going on in terms of the technical spec. It's a durable, full grain, nicely pebbled finish to it. You get level 1C approved armor, which is removable in the elbows and shoulder, and a pocket for back protection if you want to upgrade to that. That can be removed nice and easily. Inside, you simply got a cotton viscose lining to it, but really it's all about the tailoring, it's all about the finish of the jacket. There are some comfort features, like you get the soft piping around the collar and cuffs, and some degree of adjustability with a couple of different options for the snappers around the collars, cuffs, and at the bottom as well. These are rubberized with a clear coating, so you don't see the rubber, but it's going to prevent scratching on the tank, which is a nice feature. In terms of weight of the jacket relative to the seasonality of it, I would say in the UK this is going to carry you through all but the extreme. So on the very hot summer days, it's really going to be a bit too warm, and in the very cold winter days, even with layers underneath, you may struggle slightly. But for everything else, so let's just call it from 5 degrees up to 25 degrees, this is a jacket that's got you covered. So it's going to be quite useful for most of the riding year. The branding on it is, I think, quite a good balance between being understated so that you can't see it from a distance, you don't have white contrast coloured logos or anything. You have this nice Belstaff embroidered Phoenix logo on the sleeve, which, you know, it's a brand, it's a premium brand, so it's nice to have something there, albeit one that tones in quite neatly. Same goes for the gunmetal snaps, which have Belstaff engraved into them. And you've also got it on the little pull system as well. So you've got a couple of pockets, as you can obviously see. The chest one I always think is slightly more decorative. I'm not sure it's a great place to store things. It's going to ruin the line of the look of the jacket. You've also got these slanted pockets for access too. Around the waist you have a few different options in terms of the buckle system, which is adjustable either side to tailor that in slightly. Both the samples in the Riser and the Slider we have here are a large. And one thing to note about the sizing is it seems to have changed slightly from previous collections. It's always been the case that Belstaff leathers fit about a size smaller than the wax equivalents, and that meant obviously having two different size guides for Belstaff, which could be confusing. It seems to have all come into the same point now, in line with the wax cotton sizing. So this is actually bigger than the previous large, for example, from a collection previously, and therefore it's slightly too big for me, so it doesn't look quite as good on me as a medium would. So at least that's something in terms of the sizing having got right, but do check the size guides over at urbanrider.co.uk, because it will be slightly different to the previous leathers if you are already familiar with those from other years. So going down inside the jacket, there's not too much to speak of really. This jacket is a leather shortcut motorcycle jacket, so there's not too much to say technically. So you get the same chunky Belstaff zip, and on the inside there's that just black cotton viscose lining, and you also have this YKK vertical access zipper pocket there for storage, which is a nice secure way of keeping your valuables safe. So tell us what you think. We want to know your feedback about these new products. We always love hearing from you guys, and stay tuned for more video reviews of the new 2019 Belstaff Motorcycle Collection, and of course for more reviews on the world's finest riding gear. Thanks for watching. See you again soon. Goodbye.